me that green light. Give me that green light, Maine. Give me that green light. Give me that green light, Maine. Give me that green light. Give me that green light, Maine. Give me that green light. Give me that green light, Maine.
Tonight's Greenlight Maine is sponsored by WEX, Payments Unbound.
Good evening. Welcome to Greenlight Maine. I'm your host, Julene Gervais. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. This is turning out to be a very exciting season. We have 26 successful companies who are looking to expand their businesses and compete for the $100,000 grand prize. We have 2 businesses for you tonight who are about to give their pitches, but only one will leave with the green light to move on to the next round. Now, before we get started, I'd like to welcome our judges from around the Maine business community. First, we have Nicola Morris, who is the Senior Vice President of Corporate Development at WEX. Welcome.
Thank you so much for being here. I'm very excited to hear about our companies. As part of corporate development at WEX, we do strategy and innovation, so it's very close to what we do.
Perfect. And our second judge is Angela McHugh, who is the Innovation Outreach Manager at the University of Maine. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. At the University of Maine, I work within the Office of Innovation and Economic Development.
Nice. And finally, welcome Emily Brackett, who is the owner of Visible Logic and founder of Branding Compass.
Hi, thanks for having me. Yes, Visible Logic is a branding firm in Portland, and Branding Compass is a web-based branding application.
Excellent. So thank you for being here. And now we're going to turn it over to our first pitch of tonight. Welcome Grace Burchard from ReProduce. Whenever you're ready, Grace, you can just get started.
So look at the produce in front of you. They look a bit different, but they're just as healthy and delicious as the ones you normally find in the grocery stores. However, you can't find them there because they've never left the farm. This is where we come in. My name is Grace, co-founder of ReProduce, a way to access the excess. And we want to reduce food waste in Maine at the beginning of the production chain. So the demand for local food is rising, but the access to it is limited, even though there is an abundant amount of unsold local produce. This is why, by purchasing and processing farmers' surplus produce, we will give them an additional revenue stream while reducing food waste and increasing access to local food. But how will we do this? So first, we sent a survey to 60 farmers all across Maine. Those who were interested responded back and said they would sell their wholesale excess produce at 50% the original price. We also conducted consumer surveys where we talked to our target market, millennials, and we asked them about what produce they preferred and what preservation methods they also preferred. From there, we decided to freeze Maine potatoes and berries. We chose freezing because it preserves the integrity of the produce, it is convenient for consumers, and also it is a simple processing method, which gives us more viability with our business. The Maine Food Strategy Consumer Survey report states that 80% of Mainers choose to buy local or Maine products, but things that get in the way are lack of access, inconvenience, and the fact that the food is not in season. Our business tackles all 3 of these issues. So how are we going to take our produce and turn it into our product? First, we will have collection locations. We will then bring it to Ocean Approved to process and freeze and store it at Americold before self-distributing to retailers. We've talked to several retailers already in the Portland area. All have stated extreme interest, particularly the Portland Food Co-op. They said right now their consumers are asking for Maine frozen produce, something that we can provide. So what have we done and where are we going? Since this spring, we've been in a business incubator at College of the Atlantic. We perfected our prototype and have won several business competitions already. In the next year, we plan on processing full-time at Ocean Approved and expanding the produce options and selling at the Portland Co-op, where we have verbal confirmation already. And expansion, we plan on looking into supermarkets and other retailers to help us. If we win, this money would give us enough to fund our first full year of business. With your help, we can get one step closer to reducing food waste. Thank you.
Nice job. And this is a great concept, so recycled produce. Excellent. Okay, so let's start with our first question. How about you, Nicola?
Great. So very interesting concept, and I love the way you've put everything together, and I think it's fantastic that you're prototyping already, because that prototyping is an absolute key to bringing anything new to market. So that's really great, so congratulations, great job. Have you thought at all about what sort of regulatory scrutiny you'll be under and how you'll do licensing and what sort of compliance challenges you're going to have?
Yes, exactly. So the last challenge we won was the UMaine Business Challenge. There, they partnered us up with key partners such as Jason Bolton. He's at the UMaine Extensions, and he knows a ton about FDA regulations and other things that I was not aware about. So we are definitely in that process. We know we have to have a lot of FDA licensing. On top of that, we and my co-partner and I have already gotten our ServSafe certifications. So we are ready to process.
How about you, Angela?
I thought that was a great pitch, and I really liked the where you've been, where you are now, and where you're going. And I also thought it was great that you did those surveys already of your potential primary market. I do wonder, is there a hurdle to getting some of this uglier food or leftover food into the hands of people? Is there a stigma there?
From the research we have done, no. Many millennials my age love the idea of imperfect produce. It's unique, it's different, it's them. Also, if people really have a problem with it, most of it will actually be cut up with vegetables and fruit, so you won't actually even notice that it's imperfect. It's a part of the story if people are looking for it, but if they just want cheap, Maine local produce, that's also an option for them.
Okay, and finally, Emily?
Yeah, so you talked about the prototyping, and I'm guessing that's about the freezing process. But how far are you in thinking about distribution? Because I'm thinking about one truck just coming down to Portland Food Co-op seems very expensive. Will you be doing that? Will you be finding the, the transportation? How does that fit in?
So with the $1,000, we would be able to buy a refrigerated van. We also plan on getting packaging from Pack Edge, which holds the cool temperature for a while. So those are two things we plan on working on. Ocean Approved is only 20 minutes from Portland, so it's not that far of a drive, and Americold is right in downtown Portland. So it's very limited driving. And we've already had the calculations to have a refrigerated van in the costs. So it shouldn't be that much of an issue.
Great. Thank you so much, Grace. And we got to take a break, but when we come back, we're talking about a longtime company in the state of Maine. We'll hear from them. Stay with us.
Greenlight Maine would like to thank the Maine Department of Economic and Community Development, the Maine DECD, helping businesses and communities prosper.
WEX's story started over 30 years ago, right here in Portland, Maine. Our technology puts control in the hands of our customers, including fleets, travel agencies, and healthcare consumers. We have offices in 10 countries, over 2,500 employees, and we are proud to be headquartered in Maine. To become part of our story, visit wexinc.com.
Are you trying to increase sales? At Dream Local Digital, we've been helping businesses using Facebook, Google, and other online tools for over 8 years. We're experts at helping small businesses because we work with them nationwide.
Dream Local publicizes the important part of me and what I stand for and what Archers is about.
We'd love to help you grow your business as well. Give us a call today.
Please join us to find vital information on our website at greenlightmaine.com and be a part of our vibrant community on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Together, we're building Maine's future, one dream at a time.
Welcome back to Greenlight Maine. This is the time in the show where we get to thank our sponsors. And tonight we are thanking a longtime powerhouse in business in the state of Maine, WEX. And we are going to hear a message from their CEO, Melissa Smith.
There's so much that's new at WEX. That's one of the things I love about the company. It changes all the time. But I'd say the biggest thing is we hit the $1 billion revenue mark last year, which, the company grows every year, but it's exciting to have a real defined milestone like that. It was a combination of organic growth and acquisitions that led us to that point. And we've continued to add people, across the world with really great talent, including people here in Maine. We have a lot of things going on in the company, and the company is really focused on technology, and that's been true in our history, but even more so now. We live in a world where change is happening faster and faster, and so really gearing the company to make sure, even though we get bigger, that we do move faster as well, and being really cognizant of some external trends like autonomous vehicles, like the shift to millennials and travelers with our online travel programs, and also with consumerism that's happening within healthcare. So as we're moving more and more to people having HSA accounts, that's a trend that we benefit from. But in the backdrop of all of that, what we're doing is making sure our products and our technology is geared towards some of these long-range changes that are happening. Giving back is something that's core to who we are. It's something that is part of the culture of the company. And we also really encourage our employees to participate within the community that they live in. One of our VPs in technology, Ryan Taylor, got involved with the Boys and Girls Club, and he developed a program that allowed kids to learn how to code in a very simple way. It's called Codex. And I love it because we care a lot about developing STEM talent, so we care a lot about people who have science and technology and engineering, mathematics backgrounds, because that's core of a lot of the hiring that we're doing. So I think it's really great, and I think of the things in seeds. We planted a really great seed that we can build upon over time. WEX was certified as a great place to work. I start with that, that's so exciting. It happened the first year we did the survey, which is actually really big deal. What I really wanted was an independent assessment that was based on our employee feedback around the world of how they viewed the culture of WEX. And the fact that we made the list in the first year, that's just incredible. And it's a huge testament to the leadership team that works across the world at WEX. And I think the other thing for me is it creates this ongoing dialogue. So through the use of this survey, we get a sense of places that we can continue to improve upon, places that we want to make sure that we do not change, and anything that we continue to emphasize. And so we can continue to grow and build upon the culture, which has really been a real strength for us. A lot of that has to do with our Maine roots. It's the fact that we were started and originated in Maine. I think that's amazing to me as we do acquisitions, as we grow globally. You can create that same sense of community in each of our offices.
We have to take a short break, but when we come back, they call themselves the purest natural product in the world. Find out who they are coming up next. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Lori LaChance, president of Thomas College. Our graduate and undergraduate programs prepare you for success in your personal and professional life and for leadership and service in your community. I know firsthand the value of a Thomas degree. My Thomas MBA completely changed the trajectory of my career, giving me opportunities I would never have had without it. Thomas College provides a great education that is personal, relevant, affordable, and guaranteed.
Sometimes, even when you widen your view of things, it's hard to see everything that's happening behind the scenes. It's our feeling you're not always supposed to. Because when we do our part, the only thing we want you thinking about is doing yours. We're WEX, the people behind the payments, powering the possibilities.
WEX is a proud sponsor of Greenlight Maine.
I'm George Gervais, Commissioner of the Maine Department of Economic and Community Development. At the department, we're focused on making sure Maine people have the opportunity to build wealth. We do that through targeted activities aimed at retaining and creating jobs, marketing our beautiful state to millions of visitors, businesses, and marketing for workforce talent, helping new products and services and ideas commercialize, and getting Maine businesses access to new markets across the world, improving our competitiveness, making Maine open for business.
For more information about the presenters and panelists on all the Greenlight Maine shows, visit greenlightmaine.com.
Welcome back to Greenlight Maine. It's time for our second pitch of the evening, and I'd like to welcome Seth Leaf-Przansky from Tourmaline Springs. Welcome whenever you're ready.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Sure.
So I'm going to ask you guys to use your imagination for a second and just think back to the state of Maine 17,000 years ago, when we were under 1.5 miles thick of glacial ice. So over the next 5,000 years, that water slowly that ice melted. And as it melted, that glacier receded back into Canada. It buckled the rock underneath the ground, this ancient 400-million-year-old rock that is the Appalachian Mountains. And when it did that, it created a fissure, a vent, like an open-air pocket deep, deep, deep under the ground, where this water then filtered all through the layers of earth down into this aquifer deep under the ground, where it sat and purified for thousands and thousands of years. And as it sat there, all the heavy matter, the impurities, the particulate matter, the things that cause water to be impure, drifted away to the bottom. Then, against gravity, this water was pushed up through one little tiny area in the western mountains of Maine that is surrounded by big caverns of gemstones and crystals to emerge against gravity up to the surface and bubble out of the ground only in this one place up on a mountain. That water, this place was acquired by my friend Brian, who bought it, had this vision to set up a completely sustainable, ethical, and renewable bottling facility, and then he started marketing it. I then came over and realized what this product was, and in a year's time, I've taken it, I put it into over 500 stores. I've gotten 8 different distributors from Maine to Florida. I've just recently secured nationwide distribution in the natural foods industry. I have marketing people, I have all kinds of things on board, and I've done it with virtually no marketing budget at all. Just my ability to communicate the authenticity of this spring, and the purity of the product speaks for itself. The potential for this product is huge. The spring, the natural output of the spring is about 35 million gallons a year. And at $2.99 a bottle, which is what it retails for now, that comes out to almost $1 million a day. So I am ready to make this the #1 brand of premium bottled water in this country. I've already proven that the business model works, and I want to win this money so that I can make everybody know and love this brand for what it is.
Nice job. I just have a quick question. So where is the spring located?
Harrison, Maine.
In Harrison, Maine. Okay. Nice job. So why don't we start with you, Nicola? Question?
So great job, great
Thank
pitch, great idea. I love starting with the imagination. I think that's a great way to start any pitch. I have to get down to the tactical and practical, though. Tell me about pricing and competition. How do you fare against all the other bottles out there, the Fiji, the this, the that, right?
Yep. So the premium segment of the bottled water industry is blowing up. It's bigger than it's ever been. Bottled water itself has been growing phenomenal digits every year since the 70s. But now they've kind of hit a plateau where the major players out there, they can't really do much, and people want the fine waters. Just like in the organic foods industry, people are onto that. Just because something says organic doesn't mean it really is. So people want the finest, the best that there is. So our pricing is actually, it's right in alignment with every other premium brand that's out there.
Angela. Great pitch, and I'm really interested to learn more. I also have a nuts and bolts question. So can you talk to me a little bit about the process of getting this water out of the spring into the bottle, and how you would scale that process up as you grow?
Yeah. So the way we do it is really unique because we actually only harvest the overflow We only bottle the overflow that bubbles to the earth's surface naturally. We don't take the water out of the ground or suck it, which allows us to be a renewable operation. So scale the thing's turnkey, it's ready to go. We could do about 10 million in sales just with what we have in place right now. And just because we own it all, we have all the rights to do whatever we want, scaling the facility and everything from that point is actually really easy.
Emily.
So you said it's all coming out of the earth now. If you get to that point of scaling that you're talking about, is that going to change then to more of an extraction process?
Never, never. If it did, I would collapse the whole thing. I'm doing this for the right reasons, and that's the only reason I'm going to do it. I want to set a standard in an industry that I'm very connected to and very passionate about. And like any business, you know, once money comes into it, things start to get convoluted, you know, the malevolent kind of creatures come around. But no way, won't happen. And the way we have it set up, it can't. It would ruin the whole thing anyway.
Okay, I think that's going to do it. There's nothing like a good glass of H2O. When we come back, we're going to hear what the judges think of both of these pitches, so don't go away. Please stay with us.
Furniture for Greenlight Maine is provided by Thomas Mosier Furniture, handmade American furniture since 1972.
For almost 25 years, MaineBiz has been providing business news, information, and analysis for business owners and C-level executives in Maine. From Fort Kent to Kittery, MaineBiz serves the decision makers of Maine across multiple channels, including its flagship print digital publication, website, events, daily report, real estate insider, and weekly newsletter. Let MaineBiz help your business succeed. Inform, engage, connect.
I'm Michael Bork, President and CEO of MEMIC, where all of us want Maine to be a great place to start and grow a business. Over 25 years, MEMIC has led a reduction in workplace injuries of 40% in Maine, cutting the cost of workers' comp in half. Workplace safety is our passion because when people are safe, businesses succeed. And when Maine businesses succeed, Maine succeeds.
MEMIC, proud sponsor of Greenlight Maine, growing Maine one dream at a time.
In 1972, Tom Moser committed his life's work to craft, and 4 decades later employs 70 fine craftsmen and women in our shop in Auburn, Maine. With showrooms and customers from coast to coast and numerous awards and accolades, Tom has firmly established himself as an entrepreneurial tour de force and has proven that a life doing what you love is indeed possible.
This year's winner of Greenlight Maine will win this handmade Thomas Moser beacon box and $100,000. Broadcast facilities provided by NESCOM, the New England School of Communications at Husson University.
Welcome back to Greenlight Maine, and this is the part of the show that we can't wait to hear what the judges thought of these 2 outstanding pitches. We have really companies that accentuate what Maine is all about, you know, that pure spring water and the produce, fresh produce, and trying to, you know, recycle. So what'd you think?
So I was really impressed by both. I love the Maine-based, as you said, it really is the essence and the spirit of a lot of what Maine has to offer, and very different companies, but very, very creative, but really focusing in on the pure and the natural. What was interesting to me, or one of the things that was interesting to me, was how ReProduce, you know, a company that's so early stage, right, just coming out of the prototyping phase, versus this company that already has revenues, knows what its gross margins are, has a pretty sizable distribution, and some really marketing oomph behind it, which I think is impressive. And I really feel like they're just so much further along.
Right. One's more mature than the other. So that's a little different.
And you know, they have different risks, but interested in what you folks think as well.
Well, I thought it was interesting to look at those 2 different companies where one is really interested in scaling and really having this nationwide presence, and the other one isn't so much. It's more right now doing this test market, and I think she said something about, you know, having great quality and being right here and having a great business versus being huge. So it's interesting to look at those 2 different models.
Right, that's true. ReProduce would replicate outside of state, but not be, they would never go national the same way that Tourmaline already is on that path.
She wants to be connected to the community and have relationships with the businesses that are going to be selling this. So that's nice.
Which is a really great concept, that idea of taking a business model and taking something local and regional and then just replicating that in other markets. So it's a very interesting, and I think a very, could be a really successful model. I did have some concerns about her ability to scale, you know, even in the regional and keep things going. But I also had concerns about Tourmaline and some of the contractual relationships that we learned about on the break. So not without risk, right?
With ReProduce, it seemed like there was a lot of logistics involved there that I'm not sure she has the skill set for. And, you know, so then if you don't have the skill sets, maybe you don't even realize the gaps there. It's like, it's a big difference, the farmer bringing the produce to the farmer market versus her going to get it. I mean, just right there, that would be a huge difference in what she has to handle.
That's a lot of work for her.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So I mean, even requiring that they bring it to market would make a huge difference. They could require them to bring it to the next place. If they're going to bring it to Portland, what if they dropped off? I think little details like that are unknown could make just a vast difference.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Sure. So what do you think about the whole non-filtered water, just right from the spring? That's unheard of, right?
Right.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah,
your
right.
Family
That's
owns
exactly
a quarry, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But I think he needs to emphasize that, and he might be already in his marketing, but that is very unique because I think that it's a crowded market, right? So to just say it's great premium water, you need to have, I think, something.
Right, I think that should be the headline, is that it's unfiltered and it's literally trickling out of the spring into the bottle.
Sure.
That's what differentiates it from all these other ones, because it is so crowded.
Yeah. So we got about a minute left. Just real quick, if they were to make it to the finals, what would you like to see out of them?
So if they make it to the finals, from my perspective for Tourmaline, I would like to understand what he's put in place from a contractual perspective, and to shore up some of what I perceive to be some of the risks on that front.
Yep.
And I would like for ReProduce, from my perspective, I would like to understand that supply chain and the real plans behind getting that to execute.
Yep, right.
Yeah, for me, I'd like to see those contractual and logistical pieces kind of for both really hammered out and said, this is our next step, this is what we've done, these are some of the challenges we've thought through, whether it's farmers bringing it or we're going to go pick it up. Those are the things that would really need to be figured out between now and then for me.
Okay, you, Emily?
Yeah, I think we've pretty much covered it. There's some risk there, I think, with Tourmaline, that if he's not as, he feels comfortable without a contract, but I think that in the end, it's going to be better to have everything in writing.
Good. Nice job, the three of you. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and we come back, we find out who gets the green light. Don't go away.
As a leader in Maine and New England in providing integrated accounting, consulting, and tax services to clients large and small, the team at MacPage has proven to provide innovative solutions to help us better meet our clients' needs. We enjoy the people we serve and care about the work we do. The success of our business is based upon our ability to develop quality relationships, one client at a time. MacPage. Accessible, approachable, accountable.
WEX's story started over 30 years ago, right here in Portland, Maine. Our technology puts control in the hands of our customers, including fleets, travel agencies, and healthcare consumers. We have offices in 10 countries, over 2,500 employees, and we are proud to be headquartered in Maine. To become part of our story, visit wexinc.com.
Please visit greenlightmaine.com to follow the progress of your favorite entrepreneurs and find information and resources about becoming an entrepreneur yourself.
Welcome back to Greenlight Maine. It's time to find out who tonight's winner is and who's moving on to the next round. Judges, who's it going to be? And tonight's winner is ReProduce. Congratulations to Grace. She is moving on in the competition. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We love your input and support, so please visit us on our website, greenlightmaine.com, and check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We hope to see you back here next week at the same time on WLBZ2 and WCSH6. Have a great night. Congratulations. Nice job, yeah.
Greenlight Maine has been brought to you by WEX, Payments Unbound. Greenlight Maine would not be possible without the support of all of our corporate sponsors. Thank you.
Greenlight Maine has been a paid-for presentation by the Portland Media Group.